Okay, hi. I was just waiting for Aster to get here. Ah! Okay. Hello. Okay, so here, so... So I went back into the game and I got that, like, single thing I was missing. It was completely inconsequential, which is why I didn't feel like doing it on... Oh, that's right, I forgot to turn the waiting room off. Which is why I didn't feel like doing it on stream, is it was completely inconsequential. What it was is I forgot to look at the TV with the, in the infirmary with the mixing instructions on it. So I got that, and now I've gotten all of the achievements on the game, and I am a 100% gamer. Let me turn the game down just a little bit, because we're not having voice this time, we're just having music. So I'm in here, and that's fine. Fuck. No. Okay. Yeah. Big monitor hint, it sure is. Okay! Let's have secrets! Wow. I don't know what the fuck is in here, but I'm gonna read all of them. Let's start. This is where you play the AB game. It appears to be an elevator car. There are 6 AB rooms in the warehouse on floor A. From the left, they're referenced to as first, second, third, etc. The interior of each room is identical to the others, with a voting device on the wall and hatch on the ceiling. These are probably all things I already know, and that's okay. If you're here, it means you just want to hang out. This refers to the door of the AB. What was it again? The AB gate. This refers to the door of the AB room. Most elevator doors open horizontally, but this one opens and closes vertically. Most elevators also include a safety. Wait, really? Oh, I never processed that the AB rooms are opening vertically. Most of them you know, but there are some secrets. Yes. Most elevators also include a safety feature that prevents the door from closing if anything obstructs it. These doors have no such safety feature. I have to imagine some of these gold files have some tasty nuggets. Yes, most likely. Well, that was a fun... I didn't know that the AB gates were opening vertically because, all of the CG show them opening horizontally. Each participant has a bracelet attached to their left wrist. If a participant breaks the rules or fails to fulfill certain conditions, then a set of 4 needles in the bracelets will inject them with 2 chemicals in succession. You also get Uchikoshi's big joke writing style. Oh, yes. There are only 2 situations which will cause the bracelet to come off. The person wearing it completes the game and escapes, or the heart of the person wearing it stops beating. Attempting to break the bracelet or attempting to force it off will be considered a violation of the rules. I wonder if cutting the arm off counts. Let me take a drink. AI is short for artificial... AI is short for... artificial insemination, which is a process by which eggs are fertilized without the use of a male organ. It is commonly used in the breeding of dairy, cattle, and pigs, but has also been... Oh, I'm being told that in this case AI stands for artificial intelligence, which is another thing entirely. Word 03 says before he leaves. There are a few variations. Have a nice trick, have a nice trap, have a nice traitor. He also says have a nice trust at one point. Oh, Jesus Christ. A device built by Tom Kwan, I don't know how to pronounce it, a Boise, Idaho commuter. That's actually a lie. A quantum computer is a It's a highly advanced machine that uses quantum phenomena such as superposition and entanglement to perform calculations. Let's say, for example, that you want to determine the prime factor of 5183. A Van Neumann-style computer, let's call him Paul, would say, can I divide it by 2, 3, 5? And just run through the numbers like that until it got the answer. Mr. Kwan, on the other hand, the computer, not the imaginary commuter, would just look at 5183 and say, obviously it's 71 times 73. A traditional computer with n bits can only be in one of 2, I forget how to say the upwards triangle symbol, n states at once, but a quantum computer with n qubits can be in up to 2 up n states simultaneously. This means a quantum computer can complete calculations that are currently impossible. That's amazing, Mr. Kwan. Are you seeing anybody? Oh, 2 to the nth. Okay, thank you. I don't know math words. Someone has written 2 milkmen go comedy on the wall in the warehouse on floor A. Presumably, it refers to a pair of milkmen visiting a comedy club. The sentence structure, however, is obviously wrong. There must be a reason why. It's a deadly game that 9 people have been forced to play. The official name is Nonary Game Ambidex Edition. As part of the Nonary game, the participants must also play the Ambidex game or AB game. Nonary game rules. What is the purpose of the Nonary game? To escape by walking through the door marked with the number 9. How do you open the number 9 door? You have to earn at least 9 BP. How do you earn 9 BP? Go to the AB room and play the AB game. How do you enter the AB room? Excuse me? Next to the AB gate is a card reader. Just slide the designated card key into it and the door will open. Where are these card keys? Behind the CDs. Yeah, to Milkman. Memento Mori has a lot more impact. I'm so delighted that it was actually a scramble and it just happened to be one that made more sense and also had use. I love a multi-layered reveal. I love it a lot, very much. I did think about running that through a descrambler or a scrambler and seeing what came out, but then I thought, no, if that's actually something that's going to be a huge reveal because they haven't done it yet, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm glad that Fi did do it just like at the end, randomly. Supplementary rules. Oh, this thing. I'll read it then. Actually, let me... Here are a few more rules for you. Once you've opened a door, you can hop through it as much as you like. The chromatic doors are like that too. Once you open them, even I cannot keep you from going in and out of them. Any color of bracelet can go through them, and as many people as you like. But, if you have to escape before you can take advantage of this free reign rule, you have to escape before you can take advantage of this free reign rule. Once you have activated a chromatic door and gone through it to the puzzle beyond, I warrant let you go back until you've solved the puzzle. Okay. Per solo. In addition to a number, each bracelet will say either solo or pair. Each color will have 3 bracelets, 1 solo and 2 pairs. The 2 pairs who have the same color pair bracelets will share the same fate and must vote together as one. Yes. Someone just write a find replace into Lagomorph's code. Yeah, probably. BP refers to bracelet points. The number of BP you have will be displayed on your bracelet. If your BP is greater than 9, then you can open the number 9 door and escape. However, if your BP drops below 0, then the needles built into the bracelet will activate. Number 9 door. The door is found in the warehouse on floor A. Anyone with 9 or more BP can open the door and escape the Nonary game, so in a sense, this door could be considered the ultimate goal of the participants. Once the number 9 door closes after someone with 9 BP has opened it, there's no way to open it again. During his explanation, 03 said, "The number 9 door cannot stay open for more than 9 seconds. This is not strictly correct, however. The time period 03 is referring to is the time when the door is fully open. That means that if it takes into account the time when the door is opening and when it's closing, it is open for somewhat more than 9 seconds. I was wondering that! I was wondering if the 9 seconds was also how long it takes to open, because it takes so fucking long to open. It really seems like the door is more realistically open for like a full minute. Or maybe like, maybe 30 seconds. I had to drink. Total lunar eclipse. At certain times, the sun, earth, and moon align in such a way that the moon is completely within the earth's shadow. This causes the moon to appear reddish-brown in color as light from the sun passes through earth's atmosphere and reflects off the moon's surface. Incidentally, this game refers to a lunar... Wait, what? Oh, this game refers to a lunar eclipse on New Year's Eve in 2028, which is, or rather, will be an actual event. It will be visible only in the Eastern Hemisphere at 1652 UT. Oh, hey, I just realized there's 16 pages. Oh god. Okay. One of the drugs used- oh yeah, Super Beta. One of the drugs used by Nonary bracelets and an extremely powerful anesthetic. It is the first drug injected into when a participant breaks one of the rules. This drug also appeared in Virtue's Last Reward's sister title 9 Hours, 9 Versus 9 Doors. It was created by Mr. H, who was the president of Cradle Pharmaceuticals and appeared in 999. He developed it by extracting and purifying an alkaloid from a variety of mandrake. High usage can lead to some side effects, including severe memory loss. It can also be aerosoled and used as anesthetic or knockout gas. There's a lot of these. Tubocurarine. One of the drugs used with the Nonary bracelets and an extremely powerful muscle relaxant. This is the second drug injected by the bracelets if a rule is broken. The tubocurarine is injected 9 minutes after the soap rule. God, I forgot it was 9 minutes! It's so long! It causes the respiratory muscles to cease functioning, and the body perishes from lack of oxygen. Tubcurarine is a component in some of the poisons used by indigenous populations in South America who tip their arrows with poison when hunting. It can be counteracted with a cholinesterase inhibitor, but it's not clear if the Notary Game facility has any of this antidote available. The fact that also these are ostensibly files Sigma just has, hey bud, how's the meta doing bad? Yeah. Adam, acronym for the Automatic Diagnosis and Analysis Machine. I forgot that's what it stood for! This device uses nuclear magnetic resonance imagining to examine and diagnose anyone put into it. It's similar to the MRI machines you might find in modern-day hospitals, only much smaller and more efficient. An advanced computer built into the device can automatically diagnose most issues and ailments. If the subject of diagnosis is already deceased, the Atom can perform a virtual autopsy and determine the cause of death. I love how we didn't do that, like, ever again after the old woman. I get why no one would want to, like, pick up someone, like, their friend's body and put it on the table, but I love that we just never did that. Uchikoshi says, Sigma, I am speaking directly into your ear. Oh good, I can just do this. Fantastic. But I want to read the titles. Newspaper excerpt. Radical 6 infection spreads, continues to elude authorities. The Radical 6 virus continues to spread across the globe like wildfire. The WHO has confirmed that the death toll is estimated to have passed 100,000 victims. Immediate quarantine of any infected patients is strongly advised. Pandemic. When an epidemic spreads beyond a certain area, it becomes a pandemic. Some historical pandemics include cholera, typhoid fever, tuberculosis, the Black Plague, and smallpox. Certain influenza outbreaks also have reached a pandemic or near pandemic levels of infection. In Spain, in 1918, an influenza outbreak was said to have caused 40 to 50 million deaths. Yes. Radical 6. Palpable virus is worldwide spread as an integral part of the story! If you want to know what Radical and 6 mean, you'll just have to play the game and find out. A powerful syringe that uses easily swappable vials. Thank you. Primary chromatic door. There are a total of 7 varieties of chromatic doors in the Notary Game facility, one for each of the following colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, red, green, blue, and white. The primary chromatic doors will open at a specified time. Participants can see how much time is left until the primary door is open by pressing the buttons on both sides of their bracelets. No! Oh my god! Sigma's cat problem! Second chromatic door. Several conditions must be met by the group that enters the primary door in order for the secondary door to open. There must be two pair bracelets and 1 solo bracelet. The colors that meet all the bracelets must together form either the color of the door they are trying to enter or its complementary color. That's kind of hard to remember though, so let's look at it like this instead. Red and blue open the magenta door. Open the magenta secondary door. Green and green open the magenta secondary door. Green and red open the yellow secondary door. Blue and blue can open the yellow secondary door. Blue and green can open the cyan secondary door, and red can open the cyan secondary door. I was wondering what he meant by 14 or 15 EU. Stands for erotic units. EU is a system developed to measure a combination of physical, emotional, and situation attractiveness. It ranges from 0 to 20, whether 20 might be Marilyn Monroe and 0 might be Gilbert Gottfried. That's quitter talk. For the curious, oh god, Danny Trejo rates 16 EU. Just being sexy does not guarantee a high EU rating. Is this different in Japanese? Not to be confused with competing systems of hotness or sexability, the EU system weighs a number of factors, such as practicability, sustainability, emotional investment, and the bias of the observer. Women with a high EU rating have usually mastered the art of the tease. Okay. I have no idea what the Japanese version looks like. I wish I knew. Yeah, that would have to be a thing of happening to find... You'd have to find a Japanese playthrough of it, probably, or, like, get your hands on the Japanese translation. The original translation. And just trying your best. Okay. A collection of films that Tameji has gathered. Their content isn't really explicit per se, but they still aren't really appropriate for someone Quark's age. It should be noted that the term does not imply the videos contain grandpas or grandpa-like actors. How dare you. Sigma's cat problem! Yay! Oh my god! Sigma has a strange verbal and possibly psychological tic which causes him to make cat puns whenever he talks about cats. The cause of this behavior seems to be an experience he had as a child. When Sigma was in preschool, there was a deserted house near his school that everyone called the Cat Mansion. He'd always loved cats, so every day he would visit the Cat Mansion and give the cats that lived there some of his lunch. This is good! One day he realized that... Alex, is this what you were waiting for me to find? So every day he would visit the cat mansion to give the cats his lunch. One day he realized that he could understand what the cats were saying to one another. A magical black cat appeared and told him that it had given him this gift in exchange for giving food to its fellows. But the magical cat said... You can never tell anyone about your gift, the magical black cat warned. If you do, you'll be cursed. But young Sigma was so happy about this newfound ability that he slipped and told a girl about it, so the black cat cursed him. His curse was to speak only in cat puns for the rest of his life. Fortunately for him, a magical white cat came along soon afterwards, felt the curse was a little too harsh and lessened it, so that he would only talk in cat puns when he talked about cats. And they lived happily ever after. Oh my god, I can't remember what novel this is based off of, but this follows a novel plot. Oh god, I could probably find it if I tried hard enough after the stream. This is, really good. I love that phone. A device that converts sound into electrical signals and transmits them over a wire so, so they can be decoded and played back to the other end. It's useful for speaking to people who are far away. The invention of the telephone is generally accredited to Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, but there is dispute in some circles as to whether or not this is the truth. In the game, there was a phone in one of the cabins. It can't call outside the facility, of course, but what if you try something like 5309 or 6969? Other numbers might do other things, so give it a try. The golem is an anthropomorphic creature from Jewish folklore. Golems are made from clay and will obey any orders given to them by their creators without question, although they tend to take instructions very literally. A golem is created by performing a holy ritual, then kneading the clay into the shape of a person chanting a spell and writing the Hebrew word emet, truth, on the golem's forehead. Erasing the E changes the word to met, which is Hebrew for death. Doing this deactivates the golem. I know that that's... I know that the, character thing is correct. I don't know about the rest. I have not... It fell out of my brain. I used to know. One of the golems found in the notary game facility. He is discovered lying on the maintenance table in the golem bay. His product ID is GTMCMGOLM. He asked to be referred to by the last bit, which is, of course, golem. Much to his surprise, this ends up being pronounced like golem anyway. Not if you're me. On a side note... Oh, okay. Fuck! On a side note, GTMCMGOLM stands for Golem Type Male Cockney Model Number GOLM. I hate now knowing that, like, old Sigma built all these, so he did this on purpose. He just did this on purpose. He just did it. Old fucking just made a Cockney robot. You got real fucked up on the moon, bud, but I guess you didn't lose your sense of humor entirely. The Chinese room is the thought experiment developed by American philosopher John Searle to contest some of the ideas about artificial intelligence. The experiment itself is explained in more depth in the game, but the general idea behind it is to pose the question, do intelligent responses indicate actual understanding? Excuse me. Searle contests that a computer could be programmed to respond intelligently in conversation with humans, so much so that it would seem to be human itself, but that it would not necessarily, or perhaps could not, actually understand what it was saying. Of course, this raises the question, how can we know that human minds are not, in essence, Chinese rooms? Can we actually say that we understand the things we say, or are we just simulating understanding? Yeah, I do love that some of the files are just play the game. I did! I already did! I played the game. The Turing test is designed to gauge a computer's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior, first developed by British mathematician Alan Turing. The test has 3 participants, a human judge, a human subject, and a machine. The judge engages in conversation with the human and the machine, and if the judge cannot determine who is the machine and who is the human, the machine is considered to have passed the Turing test. When Fine mentions that perhaps she and her companions have been captured to perform a test, she is referring to the Turing test. Okay. Here are some... yeah. Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then everybody gets penalized. In other words, one person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. The files that they decided to give you are really Uchikoshi handing you the themes he wanted you to see. I think I ended up seeing most of them that he wanted me to, so that's good. Oh, okay. Think about autonomy now. An acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Later Electronic Machine. Golems are robots developed and sold by an American... what? Ah! Sold by an American corporation called Hephaestus Systems. Some of the units in this facility, however, have had their software significantly enhanced by Zero Senior. A portion of them have also been given ABT created by Zero Senior. Incidentally, ABT is short for Artificial Biological Tissue. Okay, I was wondering if he was making the robots himself. Weird! But like... huh. World is hell at that point. Huh, curious. Does anyone remember what happens to the golems when they're shut down? Their bodies don't get scrapped, right? So they could just be reprogrammed? He just made them people. Okay. Because he has, like, a lot of them. I guess it kind of just, like... oh, okay, they don't get scrapped. Okay, so you can just repurpose a corpse. Interesting, okay. I guess Akane just bought a bunch of robots and sent Sigma to the moon with them. Golem's story, the point. The gist of Golem's somewhat rambling explanation is that, yeah, Akane probably brought a bunch. Yeah, I'm just assuming that she was using whatever stock Rich's I had got his hands on. Obviously, they would have had to use a lot of it for 999, but I have to imagine they had a lot set aside. The gist of Golem's somewhat rambling explanation is that the center of thought doesn't necessarily have to reside in the body. In the case of Golem, the self clearly resided in the mainframe and operated the body remotely. Since a self-aware robot could exist this way, he theorized, what would prevent humans from doing the same? If humans are actually being controlled by an outside force, then is there actually any such thing as free will? Yeah, they have dollars. They have plot dollars. The Kurashikis have plot dollars. I do hate that this is the second time we've done this, and I understand why we did this here because we had robots, but it does make me afraid that it might be another point of Zero Time Dilemma, and I don't like to think about it. I know that it's like supposed to get you thinking about, you know, like the field and whatnot, but I don't like it. What have you said? I love that that's why I is a stonks boy. Uchikoshi, you're thinking about everything all the time. He sure is! I still love that I tried to, this is just something Alex told me in our personal chat. I tried to, quote-unquote, gotcha Uchikoshi on the old man reveal, like, his eye is fucked up, he'd know that! And Alex was just like, yeah, he just kind of said that the arms would be programmed to not think it's weird, and I was like, what the fuck?! Wound! What? Oh, okay. Fourth intercostal left, between the fourth and fifth ribs on the upper left chest. Stab wound. A wound caused by a knife or other sharp object. Wound margin, clean, continuous. The wound margins are consistent with a stab wound. Why is this in here and not the files? Weird. Because that's like something that the Adam said. Interesting. Yeah. Wound angles, one sharp, one blunt. This is consistent with a knife wound. Most knives have one sharp cutting edge and one flat edge, which would produce this wound profile. Wound 2. Oh, okay, this is the second part of it. Wound cavity, the depth of the wound. Frequently, this will match the length of the blade. Wound length. The length, longwise, of the wound left on the epidermis. Usually this corresponds to the height of the blade. Wound width, blunt angle. The width of the blunt angle of the wound. Usually this corresponds roughly to the width of the knife blade, allowing for elasticity of the skin. Okay. Coroner. Not to be confused with a coroner. A coroner is a government official who assists law enforcement by investigating the causes of death and dealing with the paperwork and logistics surrounding corpses. It can also be used colloquially to refer to someone who performs these duties, whether or not they are actually employed by the government. Oh, okay. I didn't know that it was a Wiimote situation. An autopsy is a post-mortem surgery that examines a body in detail to determine the cause of death and evaluate any disease or injuries that might be present. It is also super gross. Luminol. Luminol is an organic compound with the chemical formula C8H7N3O2. When mixed with a hydroxide salt and hydrogen peroxide, it will glow blue when it comes in contact with blood and certain other substances. This property has made it a useful tool for criminal investigations where it can reveal blood stains that have been cleaned up. Keep this in mind the next time you're contemplating how to deal with the neighbors listening to death metal at 3 in the morning. Oh. At first glance, yay! At first glance, Kay's bracelet seems to be different from the others. Specifically, it appears to be attached to his suit. Although the design is slightly different, it is not a part of his suit. Okay. The bracelet is attached directly to his wrist, with the face looking out through the hole in the armor. Just like the other bracelets, it will only come off when he escapes or when his heart stops beating. God, I need to, like, redline Kay again, because he looked real fucked up. Let me open Discord and actually pause to go get that, because that's not something I would ever actually put online. I think I can find it easily. Let me just go get it. Where is he? There he is. Can I please save this image preview? Thank you, Discord. Let me save the image preview and put it in... Is that? Yes. I want to save it here and bring it into the realm of stream. Where is it? Yeah. He looks so fucked up when I tried to redline him. It's so weird. Like, I guess? Hang on. Like, I guess? No, I don't guess, actually. No, the wrist can't physically be here. I need to... I want to fix this armor so much. They didn't think about it. They didn't think about it at all. It's like, it's not like horribly inaccurate, but it's, when I stare at it, I see all the problems with it. His hands are too big. And his wrist can't be here. If this is his wrist, then he has, like... You probably can't see my cursor, actually, when I'm motioning. But yeah, if the circle is his wrist, then he has, like, next to no space for his hand, and then his fingers. Anyway. Just like the other wrists, it will only come off when he escapes or when his heart stops beating. I remember generalized amnesia, a memory condition where the sufferer retains knowledge such a language, social common sense, and so on, but memories of their own past and personality disappear. Its cause is usually psychological, but in rare cases it can be caused by serious head trauma. Kay suggested that an extremely painful breakup might have been the cause of his condition, but generalized amnesia usually refers to a much powerful trigger than breaking up with someone. In fact, a painful breakup often has the opposite effect. You want desperately to forget, but find that to be impossible, which leads to all sorts of other mental disorders. Or so the person sitting behind me says. Cooked food. Okay. Twice cooked pork, a Szechuan dish. It is made by pan-frying pork, cabbage, bell peppers, and green onions with, dubanjiang or tianmianjiang for flavor. I did not say that correctly, but I tried my best. That sounds good, though. Paella, a Spanish. What is this? Okay. When you in one of the routes when you enter the pantry, Fi's there, and she's like, I ate all this shit. And Sigma's like, why? she listed off all of this. A Spanish dish where one cooks rice, meat, seafood, and vegetables in a shallow pot, seasoned with saffron. Nasi goreng, an Indonesian dish made with pan-fried rice seasoned with sambal, kepap manis, and terasi. I did not say that correctly. Schnitzel, a German dish. It is made by mixing together meat, flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs. God, there's so many spaces missing. Then frying the mixture in butter or lard. I didn't... Oh, wait, that's correct. Why did I think this said vegetables? I was like, they're not vegetables, schnitzel. Yukajang, a Korean dish. This process involves stewing beef, vegetables, namul, and powdered chili peppers together very slowly. The resulting meal is very spicy. Borscht, a Russian dish. Preparation is very simple. You stew meat and vegetables together for a long time. The finished meal is garnished with beets and sour cream. Tom Kha Gai, a Thai dish made by stewing chicken, chili peppers, ginger, and napula and coconut milk. Very spicy. Hey, this facility has some good fucking food. I don't know how these all dehydrate. Well, I assume it's all dehydrated. I don't know. Because they're like military rations, right? Kind of, sort of. I don't know what space food is like. Chef's pasta. Whatever the chef feels like making. Sometimes you don't know what it is until you take a bite. Sometimes you don't even know then. Oh yes, MRE, that's the word. Word 03 says before he leaves. There are a few variations. Have a nice trauma, have a nice trace, have a nice trumpet. He never said that! He never said that to me! Free the soul! Fuck. An emerging religious organization with a rapidly growing membership. Some figures claim their congregation numbers over 1 million. Whoa, hang on. Some figures claim their congregation numbers over 1 million in countries across the world. Originally, the organization called itself Free the Soul of Y, but later dropped of Y to become simply Free the Soul. Weird? The founder of the religion is known only as brother, and his true identity is a mystery. Only a small number of the highest-ranking members have ever seen him. The doctrine of Free the Soul demands that its adherents separate themselves from the world, free themselves of lust, and release their souls from the physical bodies so that they may be purified. Its followers believe that they will be born again as a new race, and that the world will be transformed into a place of equality with no conflict or poverty. Considering how a peaceful world of equality with no conflict or poverty usually plays out in the movies, they seem like a pretty scary group of people. Myrmidons. Free themselves from lust. Did Dio commit a sin by fucking? Yes, he literally did. He said himself that he had problems with women and he got admonished for it. And that's why he was doing this mission, to prove himself that he was good because he did a fuck. Oops. For the Soul is powerful. Did I read this? I didn't. For the Soul is a powerful new religious order dedicated to establishing a new world order, and the Myrmidons are their elite frontline soldiers in that secret war. Their general public knows nothing about the Myrmidons, but their actions have put them on watch lists of intelligence communities across the globe. Excuse me. Rumors say that all the Myrmidons have the same face, suggesting that they may all be clones or of a single person. No one knows where this rumor comes from exactly, but I can tell you that it's a very credible source. Okay. Brother, the founder of Free the Soul, though he prefers not to be referred to as such. As a child, he had a younger brother whom he was very fond of. Unfortunately, the worst happened, and the younger brother was murdered. Rage and despair filled brother, and for 9 days and 9 nights, there it is again, he was consumed by his own misery. On the morning of the 10th day, however, he had a revelation. Mankind was rife with base desires, and needed to be purified so that a new world would come into being. God had spoken to brother and given him a mission. Brother dedicated his life to realizing that mission, and at the age of 26, he established Free the Soul of Y. He claims that Y is a symbol for miracles. Okay. Bracelet. Here is some information that isn't revealed in the game! The bracelet put on the left wrist of the 9 participants in the MediBang game has an important feature that's never mentioned. As soon as it's put on, a needle on the underside activates and inserts itself in the wearer. Ah, that's fucked up! That doesn't necessarily mean that it injects a drug, only that it activates and pierces the skin. Maybe there's something on the needle, or maybe there isn't. All that's certain is that when someone puts on the bracelet, they get poked. That's fucked up! There's just a 5th fucking needle? It's just in you the whole time? Ow! I'm thinking about that! Ow! God, and all of them were like, I assume everybody once they wake up try to get their hand in there and get that fucking bracelet off. Ow, that would hurt! Owie! I don't like it. I don't like it. It's a lot of moving with a needle in your skin. Ah, yeah, I don't like to think about it. Gross. Gross. Let me shake my hands and get that feeling out of my wrists. Oh no! You're right, there is Rupert Float! MediBang AB game. This refers to the ambidextrous game. It's fair to assume that AB is short for ambidex, but it also represents the two choices each player is given, A and B. A is the choice for ally, B is the choice for betray. When using the voting machine in the AB room, each player must choose to either ally or betray before the time limit is up. Ah, I can't read this! Let me get closer to my screen. A round of the AB game is played between the members of the group that went through the previous chromatic door together. The two members of the pair play against the single solo. Each party can choose to either cooperate or betray. The BP of each player will change depending on that choice. If you choose to ally and your opponent chooses to ally, you get 2 BP. If you choose to ally and your opponent chooses to betray, you get minus 2 BP. If you choose to betray and your opponent chooses to ally, you get 3 BP. If you choose to betray and your opponent chooses to betray, you get 0 BP. What do you mean that your research was bad? Maybe education will answer how to make root beer in the apocalypse. Maybe my research is for naught and my bad memory took over. Oh, right, because we've been obsessing over making a root beer in the apocalypse. Yeah. I genuinely keep thinking about the root beer and how it's more expensive than alcohol. What was it? A penalty. If you break the rules or if your BP falls below 0, you'll be penalized. More specifically, a set of needles in your bracelet will be activated, injecting you with 2 different drugs. The first is an anesthetic called Toprol Beta. 9 minutes later, this will be followed by a muscle relaxant called Tupocurine. The muscle relaxant will cause your lungs to cease functioning, killing you. In other words, the penalty for failure is death. Voting machine. Voting machine used by the participants of the EB game to register their votes. It has a touch panel and is not to be mistaken for an ATM. Hazmat. The manual found in the PEC contains the following text in reference to these suits. The air in this facility is kept at a very high pressure relative to the outside environment, but this is to prevent air contaminated by the virus from entering. All persons wishing to exit the facility must proceed through the pressure exchange chamber. In order to prevent the spread of the virus and maintain a sterile environment, all persons entering the PEC must wear a specialized hazmat suit. Anyone not wearing a suit will not be allowed to enter the PEC. Scotch. A type of whiskey made in Scotland. Its unique aroma comes from the peat used in its manufacture. Scotch is Tim Yage's favorite drink. He often claims a little scotch would scratch this itch after returning from work, which annoys Quark. That's cute! Okay, yep. Fucking nothing. A well-known drink made by putting a scoop of vanilla ice cream in some root beer, also known as a black cow. Quark has taken to Quark has taken to saying root beer floats my boat, which warms Tim Yage's heart. Aww. Floor A and Floor B. The facility has 2 stories. The top floor is referred to as Floor A, and the bottom floor is called Floor B. The A and B supposedly stand for above and below. There's a rumor that the floors were actually named after a particular Swedish pop rock group from the 70s, but everyone involved in this project has insisted that is a vile and hurtful lie. I wonder what band could they be referring to? I don't know. Swedish pop rock group from the 70s. Oh, ABBA! Oh my god, yeah! That's really good! Oh, Jesus Christ. Researcher's Journal. When the body is infected with Radical 6, the processing speed of the brain is reduced. If we assume the brain currently operates on a 1-to-1 basis with regards to time, Radical 6 reduces this to 1 Radical 1/6, or approximately 0.401. This means that for each second that passes outside, the patient feels that only 0.408 seconds have passed inside. Therefore, when 1 second has passed inside, approximately 2.45 seconds or Radical 6 seconds have passed outside. This is why the virus has been termed Radical 6. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. One theory holds that the disparity in time procession causes the brain to be flooded with massive amounts of information. Unable to keep up, it begins to fail. Whatever the cause, the infected invariably attempt to take their own lives, which is arguably the most terrifying aspect of this virus. Research suggests that a targeted antiviral could kill or at least disable Radical 6, but thus far we have been unable to develop one. It seems our best hope now is to harvest antibodies from someone with a natural immunity to the virus. Oh no, I saw that the password was another one. The bodies of those dead from suicide are piled up along the roads leading into and out of town. The entire area reeks with the stench of decay, and the sky is filled with the constant buzzing of flies. At times, their swarms are so thick that when one passes, it feels as if a cloud has gone over the sun. Every day, I see more crows and rats everywhere, feeding on the dead. Ironically, the only healthy-looking creatures are the stray cats, who have grown fat on a plentiful rodent diet. The few humans who have survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters. I don't know how many were saved, but I fear only a handful. Oh Lord, please let their futures be a bright one. This is an excerpt from the journal of a researcher. Due to space constraints, some sections have been cut out. I do still wonder who wrote these. Because since our reveal was that Sigma and Akane were behind the Ambidex game, I'm just like, I don't know? This was also in Latin, yes. Completely written in Latin. Like, I don't know who would have written this. Curious. Wow. Sounds like someone named Adele Jumpy, but why? Secret of Quark's hat. Yay! Don't you think his hat looks kind of weird? There's that huge band that just wraps around his head. Is he hiding a pair of Ferengi ears, or maybe he's just a young Lobot? Well, this is just beside you and me, but he's got missiles in there. The sides of his hat are hiding those pods, like you see on helicopters or SAM sites, except these missiles are tiny, and when he gets in trouble, both sides of the hat open up and they just fly out all at once like psh! Just kidding. Actually, he just keeps snacks up in there. I love his snack hat! Excelsior! An antiviral medication may counteract Radical 6. More specifically, it's an antibody with a natural resistance to the virus. It was found and extracted from an individual in 2038. Oh shit, okay. And then replicated using the IG replicator. An Excelsior injection is the only known way to fight off a Radical 6 infection. So yeah, I see that reading these during the game would actually make problems happen. Yeah, because when did it start? 2029? Fuck! That's almost 10 years! Or, I guess it was like 2028, but that's almost... Oh no, that's almost... Wait. Yeah, it's almost 10 years. 2029 New Year's. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's almost 10 years long before they got, cure. Fuck. Treatment pod. An amazing machine that augments an individual's natural ability to heal, strengthens their immune system, accelerates their metabolism, and can cure many otherwise incurable diseases. In addition, it can create personalized medicines, perform gene therapy, and even repair the effects of radiation damage. What an incredible machine! It's not that incredible if it can't cure Radical 6, you say? Yes, well, I guess you've got a point. But don't worry, it also has a function called Cold Sleep. Cold Sleep uses CAS freezing to freeze the entire body without damaging it. That way, even if the disease you have can't be cured, you can be frozen until a cure is found. Wow. Yeah, drug development takes a long time. There are generally two types of cold sleep. The first type involves lowering your internal body temperature. This reduces your basal metabolic rate and induces a state similar to hibernation. In other words, your body is still actively functioning, just very slowly. The other sort of cold sleep is the one in this game. This involves freezing your body to essentially lock it in whatever state it was in. Until recently, this was impossible because the expansion and crystallization that took place during the freezing process irrevocably damaged human tissue. In the world where this game takes place, however, CAS technology has overcome this hurdle and made cryonics a reality. The resuscitation rate is nearly 100%. In fact, you'd be much more likely to die in a plane crash, which means that freezing yourself to visit the future is safer than flying from Tokyo to Milan. CAS stands for Cells Alive System. It allows organic tissue to be safely and non-destructively frozen. In this game, CAS is used to put people in cold sleep. It super cools the subject with a magnetic field and causes them to freeze almost instantly, preventing crystallization. In real life, the problem comes when you try to thaw something out, which also must be done instantly. In this game, however, the technological magic of the treatment pod makes returning from cold sleep possible. I love that. Oh no. Wow! No! I don't want that one! Wait, I don't want these! In two past Notre Games, November 2018, 16 children were reported missing. In actuality, 18 children were taken, but 2 were never reported. The person in charge was someone we referred to as H. The purpose of this game was to conduct experiments on morphic resonance, with the children as test subjects. I won't get into specifics here, but the short version is that this was the first Notre game. November 1st, 2027, a total of 9 people participated in this session. They were abducted just as the children had been, but this time H was not in charge of the game. Clover was a participant in both years, and now she finds herself playing the Nonary game yet again. Esper Resonance. In the context of this game, Espers are people with the ability to access the morphogenetic field. An Esper can increase the strength of their signal by being in close proximity to other Espers, assuming they are the strongest. The strongest signal will absorb any weak ones nearby and use them to amplify its own strength, sort of like waves. The biggest wave adds the amplitude to smaller waves to its own to covers them up. Wow. Nonary veterans. No! The following 9 people were participants in the Nonary game that Clover claims to have been a part of. Ace, a middle-aged man. Snake, Clover's older brother. Real name Light. Santa, arrogant, uncooperative young man. Clover, still Clover, just younger and with a jacket. Aww. Junpei, hero of 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Junpei, June, Junpei's childhood friend. Real name Akane Kurashiki. 7, amnesic detective. Lotus, attractive programmer. Okay. Hey Clover, do you want to say something? Has 2 daughters. Kubota, skittish man, gets blown up. I do love Clover the same, just younger and with a jacket. Neostigmine. A type of carbamate compound which acts as a reversible acetylcholinesterase inhibitor, exciting the parasympathetic nerve. This allows it to counteract the effects of the muscle relaxant tuberculin. It can be delivered with an injection gun like the one you see here. Ice 9. Ice 9 is a special form of water with a melting point of 36 degrees Celsius. In other words, it freezes at room temperature. The idea of Ice 9 was originally put forth by the American science fiction author Kurt Vonnegut. His version of Ice 9 has a melting point of 45.8 degrees Celsius. There is a rumor that says all the water in Alice's body is actually Ice 9. Who knows whether it's true or not, but if it is, then she has to always keep her body temperature above 36 degrees Celsius. Vonnegut. Okay, thank you. H. This refers to Gentaro Hongo. He was one of the characters who appeared in 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. He was the person who supervised the kidnapping of the children who participated in the Notre game in 2018. He is the CEO of the Creative Pharmaceuticals and a devout follower of Free the Soul. Bitch. Morphogenetic field theory! The theory holds that there is a sort of field where the forms, structures, patterns, etc. of everything in reality are stored. This includes abstract things like language, song, thoughts, inspiration, culture, customs, and ideas. Any information contained, transmitted, or created by matter is held in the morphogenetic field. In the Zeroscape series, people who can communicate by accessing this field are known as Espers. If morphogenetic field theory is true, however, then it would mean that, in a sense, all humans are Espers of a sort. Immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin is an important part of the body's defense against viruses, bacteria, and other invaders. It identifies and neutralizes certain areas, certain threats. The IG replicator found in the lab gets its name from immunoglobulin. Hey, if her body water is Ice 9, why is she dressed so... Yeah, right? She herself said it's not, so I will take her word for it and refuse to accept otherwise. Wow. Integer factorization. Factorization is the process of reducing a number to a series of numbers that, when multiplied together, give the original number. When taken to its logical conclusion, this will yield a list of prime numbers. For the purposes of factorization, 1 is not considered a prime. Examples of prime factorization. 210 equals 2 times 3 times 5 times 7. 900 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. 107 equals 107. Note, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 107 can only be divided by themselves or 1, which makes them primes. Is that real? Is that real? Tufui ego eris. A relatively, okay, that is real, interesting. A relatively well-known Latin phrase. It might look like it's talking about... What? Oh, I see. Okay. It might look like it's talking about a pair of sexy toaster waffles, but it actually means something like, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Sometimes used as an epitaph, the implication is that the person in question was once alive like the reader, but that the reader will someday also be dead. A little ominous, I guess. SOIS. Special Office of Internal Security, or SOIS, is an elite intelligence organization under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. They investigate potentially disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with the extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or their citizenry. Their stated purpose is to maintain peace, but their character authorizes them to arrest, detain, or even kill. Scary. Prisoners, llama. Oh, God. Apple and Banana committed a serious crime and were arrested. Since they were accomplices, the police separated them for questioning and kept them from communicating. A detective visits each criminal and tells them the following: if neither of you spills the beans, you both get 2 years. If he clams up and you confess, you'll get 1 year and he'll do 15. But if you keep quiet and he gives it up, you'll do 15 while he does 1. So I bet you're thinking, well, what if we both rat the other guy out? Pretty simple, pal. You both get 10 years. This is the prisoner's dilemma. Do you betray your partner or stay silent? In the AB game, however, sometimes the most rational choice isn't always the best one. Antimatter bomb. The bomb used by the bomb uses the energy generated by the collision of particles and antiparticles. So how does this work? Phi explains. Imagine 2 types of matter. Okay. Imagine 2 types of matter. Hang on. I'm falling out of my chair. Oh, I could I guess I could do this in Phi's voice. Hang on, let me conjure it. Imagine 2 types of matter that are exactly opposite, like male and female. When they're combined, what happens? According to quantum theory, their numbers add together to make 0, like 1 and -1, and they kind of disappear because they cancel each other out. They call that annihilation, but when they collide, they create something like a baby. Except the baby is sort of pure energy, a lot of it. So, in other words, an antimatter bomb makes an exploding baby. Does that make sense? Oh, I love her. No, don't tell me about Luna's necklace. Don't tell me about it. Detonator! What's the matter, baby? Oh, I forgot that the /me doesn't appear on stream. That makes me sad. Oh well. This is a device that will detonate an antimatter bomb. Technically, it's called a remote triggering detonation signal device, but that takes a really long time to type out, so we'll just use detonator. This particular device has 2 modes of operation, immediate and delay. Pressing the switch when you're less than a meter away from the bomb will trigger the immediate mode, and the bomb will detonate immediately. If you're more than a meter away from the bomb, however, pressing the switch will activate the delay mode and the bomb will explode 30 minutes later. Cybernetic arm. A device originally created to weaponize genetically engineered psychic bears. Just kidding. It's actually an arm augmented for online sex chat. Not really. In truth, it's the arm from a mysterious libido-powered robot. I'm just messing with you. A cybernetic arm is actually a mechanical limb that you can control with your mind. Really. It has titanium alloy for bones, and those are covered with ABT, or artificial biological tissue. The ABT even has artificial nerves, so you can feel pain through it just like a real arm. It has veins that connect to the rest of your body, so if you inject medicine into a cybernetic arm, it'll flow to the rest of your body. The necklace Luna is never seen without has a cage containing a bluebird hanging from it. If you twist the key on the bottom, it plays music. Someone special gave it to her as a gift, and she says it reminds her of the following lesson. Search for happiness wherever you can, because the search itself is what makes you happy. Oh, is what will make you happy. What? 3 laws of robotics! I don't want to read this. Later on, Asimov also developed another preceding rule known as the Zeroth Law, which first appeared in his story Robots and Empire. 0. A robot may not harm humanity or, by inaction, allow humanity to come to harm. Clearly, the Zeroth Law has priority over the first 3, so the first law would have the unwritten addendum, except for this would conflict with the Zeroth Law. Whether or not 016 was aware of this law is unclear, but in any event, 016 did act in accordance with it. Don't refer to her by her ID number! Don't do it! Her name is Luna! Why is it this? Why is it this picture? Sigma, or perhaps the author, it is the author, seems to be unnaturally obsessed with swimsuits. Why is that? Was he involved in a horrible swimsuit accident, now repressed in his youth? Did he have a crush in high school on a girl on the swim team who put her Olympic aspirations ahead of any possible romance? Is he just a perv? The world might never know. I can take a guess. Password input device. This device can be used in an emergency to deactivate the antimatter bombs hidden throughout the facility. It doesn't really have any official name. Sometimes it's called the designated computer terminal, but sometimes it's just the input device. The device is a small QWERTY keyboard beneath an LCD display. On the top is a large black cable, which can be attached to the bomb you wish to deactivate. Entering the correct password on the keyboard will stop the detonation. Antimatter reactor. In a general sense, an antimatter reactor is a system that generates electricity or some other form of power from matter-antimatter reactions. So this facility uses hydrogen and antihydrogen. The reactions power a turbine which generates energy and powers everything in the facility. It looks like a gigantic octopus, but it's definitely not edible no matter how you cook it. Antihydrogen atom. This is all incorrect, right, Alex? Or at least like the last one was. A particular type of antimatter. Normal hydrogen atoms have 1 proton and 1 electron. No, this is right. Okay. But an antihydrogen atom has the opposite. 1 antiproton and 1 positron. In November 2010, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, issued a statement announcing that they had captured an antihydrogen atom. They claimed that they had captured 38 of them, in fact, and managed to hold them in a special container for 0.2 seconds. Less than 6 months later, in June 2011, they managed to capture several more antihydrogen atoms and contain them for more than 1,000 seconds. Although the creation and storage of antimatter is still a difficult obstacle, these results suggest that antimatter reactors could someday be a possibility. TNT equivalent. TNT is also often used as a reference point when discussing the power of explosive devices. Specifically, explosive power is usually described by tonnage. The amount of energy 1 ton of TNT produces is approximately 4.184 gigajoules. This means that an explosive device with an output of 1 megaton generates 4.184 petajoules. TNT stands for Trinidad and Tobago? Yes. Trinitrotoluene. That's it. It's one of the most common explosive, which is how it came to be a reference point. A kilogram of TNT has 4.184 megajoules of energy, but a kilogram of butter has 30 megajoules. Butter is some dangerous stuff! A equals mc squared. Einstein's famous equation. Put simply, it means that energy E is equal to mass m times the speed of light c squared 2. It describes how much energy you'd get by annihilating matter with antimatter a lot, but also carries the interesting implication that with enough energy you could theoretically create matter. 63 terajoules. Excuse me. The amount of energy you get by combining 350 milligrams each of matter and antimatter. You can get this number by using the equation E equals mc squared. Phi. What do you get when you convert 700 milligrams to kilograms? Alice. 7.0 times 10 to the minus 4th, 0.0007 kilograms. Phi. Then what's the speed of light? Alice. About 300 kilometers per second. If you convert that to meters, you get 3.0 times 10 to the 8th, or about 3 billion meters per second. Phi. And what if you square that? Alice. 9.0 times 10 to the 16th. Phi. And then if you multiply that times the original mass, Alice, you'd get 63 times 10 to the 12th, 63 trillion. Yeah, I can't help you to check the math. Also, their assumption of a stationary object is a lot. I don't know what you're referring to. I take a drink. Memento Mori, if the 9th line ate the sun. It appears to have been written in some form of weird paint. Memento Mori is a Latin phrase that translates roughly to remember death/mortality. 9th refers to the 9th, but appears to have been spelled wrong, likely on purpose. Why? Perhaps it's an anagram like the words on the wall in the floor A warehouse. If it is, then what does this one mean? Hourglass. The hourglass displayed in the background is actually a 4-second timer. It doesn't have much practical use, except maybe for really impatient people. If you were at a restaurant waiting for your food to come out, for instance, "Hey, how long are you going to make me wait? I've already flipped this hourglass 100 times. Technically, 100 times will only be 400 seconds, which is 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but saying 100 times is much more dramatic and therefore much more likely to get a desirable response from the waitstaff. E equals mc squared only works if you assume a stationary object because there's a second term to complete this equation. Oh! Gentle points? These are a measure of how much of a gentleman you are. Somewhere deep in the United Kingdom is an organization that tracks all gentlemen, determining their caliber based off of an ancient and Byzantine collection of rules and guidelines. Every year during the spring, a representative of this organization conducts a cursory investigation of each member's behavior, or at least appears to, and then awards gentle points based on what they saw. The following formula is used. Old ladies escorted across the street times top hats owned times puzzles solved times money given to gentleman tracking organization equals total gentle points. Knife. A small survival knife. It has Myrmidon stamped into the flat of the blade. I wouldn't call it small. Blade length 150 millimeters, base length 30 millimeters, base thickness 3 millimeters. There's blood on it, but whose blood? Robbie hallway locks. Several of the hallways. Excuse me. On floor B, use special locks indicated on the map by arrows. On the far side of each arrow is a lever. Pulling these levers will unlock the locks. Once this had been done, you can explore the entire area at your leisure. Principle of casualty. Oh god. The law of cause and effect. Specifically, that a cause must precede every effect. At the quantum level, however, things aren't quite as immutable. The principle of quantum superposition holds that any physical system, such as an electron, exists at least partially in all of its theoretical states or configurations by when measured gives a result, corresponding to only one of them. A classic example of this is the double slit experiment, where light appears to behave as both a wave and a particle. One of the interesting applications of this is that, in a sense, you are influencing the past. By observing a system, you are defining the cause of an effect you witness, and in a way altering the past. Normally, I would comment here that the quantum level is where shit gets real, but given the nature of this phenomenon, it seems like it would be more accurate to say that the quantum level is where shit gets unreal. No. Noxus King Commandments. A mystery writer from UK published the following as his rules for writing a mystery novel. 1. The criminal must be mentioned early on. 2. All supernatural or preternatural agencies are ruled out. 3. No more than one secret room or passage. 4. No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used, nor any appliance which will need a long scientific explanation. Virtue's last reward failed. But it's fine, because it's good. 5. No one with extrasensory perception or similar powers can appear. 6. No accident must ever help the detective, nor must he ever have an unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. I love that Zero Escape is just none of these. 7. The detective must not commit the crime. 8. The detective must declare any clues he may discover. 9. The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must conceal anything from the reader. What? Okay. 10. Twin brothers or doubles generally must not appear unannounced. Ah! I love that Zero Escape is none of these! It's so funny! Sun, Moon, Stargate. 3 different types of cards generally found in the safes in each room and used to open the AB gate. Without them, you can't open the AB gate to play the AB game, which means you can't gain BP. In other words, getting one of these cards is the first step in your escape. The Sun key is used during the first round, the Moon key in the second, and the Star key in the third. Instructions unclear to caught the ceiling fan. It really feels like someone, well, not someone, Ichikoshi, looked at this and was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I love it! My favorite way of writing stories is just taking roles and saying no. Fuck you. Slingshot. An elementary device that uses a rubber to launch a small projectile. Frequently used by adolescent ne'er-do-wells. Can be used as a necklace, but this is not recommended. Test site mystery. The site in question was for a simulated manned mission to Mars held in the Nevada desert. On New Year's Eve 2028, the audio logs from the simulation contain a woman's voice, assumed to be one of the test subjects saying the following. 6 of us are dead. Counting myself, there are only 3 left. I guess you could say I killed them. No, that's not quite right. Not just them. Not just these 6. All of them. All billion. Most evidence seemed to suggest that this was the beginning of the radical sex outbreak, and that the Nevada facility was the epicenter of the epidemic. Very ill portends for VLR. I am also still assuming. Oh, for Zero Time Dilemma. Yes, I also literally said the wrong thing. I am also still assuming that that's what Zero Time Dilemma is. I don't see why it would be something else, but I try not to make, like, for sure statements for these games. Well, at least when I haven't played them. I don't remember if I had any idea for VLR other than that there's pandemic happened because Alex kept joking about it, which is where I got my stream title. Or at least, I think on YouTube I used it for the first part, but otherwise I just had, like, custom titles. But yeah, I'm trying to not think about Zero Time Dilemma because I don't want to have preconceptions about it. Termite! A general term used to refer to the insects in the epifamily of Termitioidae of the cockroach order Latidea. I didn't know termites were cockroaches. That's right! Even though they're sometimes called white ants, termites aren't even in the same family as ants. They're in the cockroach family instead. Also, king crabs are in the hermit crab order, and the remora is in the Perciformes order. Thank you. Word 03 says before he leaves. There are a few variations. Have a nice trouble, have a nice tragedy, have a nice trust. Conjunction. Ah. A term used in positional astronomy. Put simply, it means that two celestial bodies appear near one another in the sky. When used in the context of our solar system, it often refers to a position where a given celestial body is aligned with the sun. Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like this is probably right. I don't know. For example, when Mars is on the opposite side of the sun from the Earth, it is considered to be in conjunction with Earth. Mercury and Venus, which orbit closer to the sun than the Earth does, have two types of conjunction. When they are hidden on the other side of the Earth, this is referred to as superior conjunction. When they are lined up on the near side of the sun, this is called inferior conjunction. These are absolutely games built on Wikipedia rabbit holes, right? Yeah. Tell me I just picture. No, don't make me look at it! Ah! Ah, what the fuck? This is the photograph that Tamiyaji was holding. The subject is a girl named Akane Karashiki. Akane was one of the people who appeared in the game's sister title 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, as the childhood friend of Junpei, that title's main character. In 999, she was 21 years old. This picture was taken 9 years before then, when she was 12. I don't want to look at it! No! Look at the left side of this picture. If you look closely, it almost looks like there's a man grinning in the background. Do you see him? Don't worry, if it seems a little strange. A spirit medium has told us that the person in this picture is a guardian spirit who's looking after her. He must have shown up here because he'd heard what sort of destiny she had in store and decided to know how she was doing. Can I? I can't, like, turn them. Alice, could you get me this picture? I could, like, pull it up on stream. Reagan sent this to us. Because I can't, like, see. I'm assuming it's, like, here is what they're wanting me to look at. It's possible to— oh my god, you're right! It would be in my files! Let me look. I don't know what, like, because these are listed in, like, the order that it expects you to get them, I think. Let me just, like... Huh! I guess it's not in my files! I would have thought it'd be in my files. Let me open Discord. Boop. Thank you for picture. I'm going to save picture. Give me a minute. Oh god. Firefox is thinking about it. Okay, let me have a picture. Oh no, it's a fucking... Can I please save it as this? Okay, thank you. I hate web images. Oh, that's not the right tab. Boop. Let's look at the picture. Yep, no fucking idea what they're talking about. I don't see anything. I guess maybe also the picture could be edited for the game? Whoops. I don't think so. I don't know. Minkowski space. A way of describing reality that adds a fourth dimension of time to the three dimensions of space. It was described by German mathematician Hermann Minkowski and therefore bears his name. It's also the name of a ski resort for miniature cows. Mini Kowski. Nagamorph. Yeah! The scientific name of the order to which rabbits belong, and 03's actual name. I'm so glad I get to look at this again. Even though the text is covering it. I just want to look at it for a minute. It's such a good image. I wish it was just in my files. I love thinking about this now that I'm done with the game. Like, I wonder when this would have been made? Like, would Sigma have built it, or would Akane have built it when she came to the moon? Tamiyaji and Alice. When they were split up at the red, blue, and green chromatic doors, Tamiyaji told Alice that there was something he had to tell her. That something was, of course, his identity, and that he already knew all about Alice and Ice 9, and not because he heard about it from Clover. Oh, okay. Tamiyaji and Clover! Yay! Oh, yeah. After the second round of the AB game, after going through the purple? They probably meant magenta. After going through the purple and green doors, Clover as a solo was heard to say the following to Tamiyaji, her opponent. What the heck did you mean with all that? It's not fair! If you're telling the truth, then I... So, what had Tamiyaji said to her? The same thing that he'd meant to say to Alice, of course. He told her who he was. That simple fact shook Clover's resolve and made her vote ally. It probably hadn't been his original intention to betray her, but after thinking about Quark's safety, he'd probably felt he had no choice and picked betray. Your project. Yes, Sam and Japanese purple and magenta are both Murasaki. Okay, that makes sense. That's why that would happen. What? Okay. AB project. A can stand for after and B for before, but they can also stand for animate and body. Everything that happened in this facility was part of the AB project. Mystery of Phi. So, who was Phi? There are a few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed at the Nevada test site. I'm banging my hands on... Is there a time dilemma? Deactivation passwords! Here's a little something more about the bomb deactivation passwords. Those passwords, they aren't just gibberish. There's something hidden in each one. I can only give you one hint, +1. Good luck! There's a lot more to the story, but I think we'll stop the secret archives here. Thank you for playing, and we hope you enjoyed the game! What? Huh. What were they even? I don't remember the process to decoding them either. I don't think I literally can. Because I don't would it be in? It would not be in my files. They're encoded messages, I can go find them. If you know where they are, I would love that. Cause I don't think I have enough brain to do it myself, because like the first one was Alice just did math at me and I was like, what are you doing, Alice? And Sigma was like, I know what you're doing, and I'm like, I'm lost. Yeah, cause I was curious if those would ever get decoded, and then they just like didn't. Where even are they? Where did I keep my fucking passwords? Where's the one bomb? Oh, there they are. Yeah, BQZ, RGJ, DXR, XLXQ, LHC, NMR, and EQD, DYR, NTK. Weird. Whoops. Ah. Come back. +1. Good luck! I love music. I guess if I like really wanted to, I could just go look at that scene again and try to puzzle it out, but I don't... Did the alphabet get put in my files, actually? What was this? Oh, this was the dice. I gift. Oh, thank you for DMs. Let me open my DMs. Gift. Oh, I see. Let me put these in my files. Let me pull it up on stream so everybody can look at it. Interesting. I feel like maybe you shouldn't have given me this because I unfortunately recognize one of these words. Boop. Oh shit. Bomb number 0 says my brother. Bomb number 1 says Crash Keys. Bomb number 2, Freezy Soul. And bomb number 3, Myrmidons. But what was the one that... What was the one that... Cause, what was the one that Allison... Oh no, that was just a random one on the screen, right? Because the one that Allison Sigma decoded just said completed. Interestingly, the password 3 is different than the Japanese version. Oh, what is it? I'm always curious about differences in localization. I just think it's fun that they put effort into. I would like to know it if you have it. Oh, it's clay dolls. I see, yes, that's something that you mentioned before when Myrmidons first showed up. That Myrmidons are clay dolls. I'm still curious about that. I wonder if there's like mythology that I'm not familiar with on that one. But yeah, we read all the secrets. We did it. We have done the 100% stream for gamers. I should take this picture off the screen. Yay. I don't know what to do now. I'll just save. I opened them. Then we'll leave. Okay. I will have your treat after stream. I'm done now. I don't... Here, let me just, like... Hang on. I'll fuck around with my mouse and then I'll leave. Give me a second. I want to just, like... Can I just add it here? Or did I change it, actually? I didn't. Okay, ah! Okay, that's fine. I'll just let that be it. Let me actually, like, move it down. Can you... Hang on. Oh, don't look at my mess. Okay. I kind of hate what the chat's doing, though. Hang on. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, let me... Here. I just like, I don't like awkwardly stopping my streams, but they're all awkward and weird because I'm awkward and weird. Let me go get music, though. I just want to fuck around. Hey, where's my playlist? Help. Where's my stream playlist? That hopefully won't get me smacked. What should we listen to today? I want to listen to the Sonic 3D Blast playlist. Or, fuck, OST. Yay. Be smaller. Let me look at the levels. That's not the levels. No! I opened Discord again instead of my stream. Okay. Ah! Sorry. Okay, that should be fine. I just wanna fuck around. I'm just gonna fuck around and draw a Sigma with my mouse. Actually, no, I don't want to draw Sigma. This will be really hard to do with my mouse. He sucks! Ah! I do need to open chat on my phone. Hang on. Because I have MS Paint full screen. I am a mess all of the time, and if you're here to watch me not be a mess, then that's your fault! If you're disappointed. Okay. I'm gonna draw... It's all fucked up. Okay, I'm just gonna draw myself. I'll draw a Rookma. This looks really fucked up. Yeah, his jumpsuit still vexes me. It really genuinely feels like they just like, what's like American? Okay. We did it, we made an American. It's like, whoa. Like, genuinely, the only thing he's missing is like some stars and stripes and a fucking gun. God, I want the Zero Skip art book really bad! It's so expensive! Oh no. Oh god. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. I put the wrong words on the wrong one.